Hello everybody, today is July Empties. The point of these Empties videos is mostly really to share my final opinions on the products that I've used up. So I've deemed them acceptable enough and good enough for me to use them up. But in the great majority of cases, honestly, in these kinds of Empties videos, I either say, yes, it's a good product, but probably not worth the price, or this product is not all that special, so perhaps look elsewhere. However, I do still like to give you pretty full reviews, mostly because I don't really like first impressions. I am not somebody who watches them anymore. Basically, I ignore all first impressions videos that pop up on my feed because I don't want to base any purchasing decisions ever on somebody's initial impression of the product. Because in my experience and with me, a lot of the times I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I realize that it's fine and not great. And I notice some of the negative sides or some issues with the product. And a lot of people review something as first impressions and then they never really go back to it and never update us on what they actually thought of the product after using it for a while. So that is why I don't really do first impressions often at all, if ever. And what I do is really empties and declutter videos. Decluttering meaning that I don't love this product enough to keep it for myself. Empties videos is I've used this up. This is what I thought. Let's start with the bath bomb. This package, little candy looking package, is for me to remember to talk to you about it because I tried the Body Shop green tea bath bomb and they have a variety of them. Green tea was my favorite one and I didn't think that it would be because I like fruity and sweet and fun and colorful bombs, but green tea was really the best one for me. Others are a little weird in terms of their milkiness. This produces no suds at all, no bubbles, nothing like that. And this is really just salt and a little bit of coloring and some scent, but this is not overpowering. So if you're sensitive, if Lush bath bombs, which is what I love for my baths, are like a literal bomb hitting you with this wall of scent that they tend to contain, and just like it's too much for you, something like that is very tame. It's a tame option. I like that they're individually packed. The bad thing, of course, is that they're individually packed. So on the one hand, it's nice if you want to travel with it or something like that. It's nice to pack up something contained, self-contained like that. On the other hand, yes, more plastic packaging. So I actually prefer the Lush bombs in every way. I like their over-the-topness, so to say. I like their extremity in terms of their, their bombastic sense. I want that for my bath. Not everybody does, and some people get significant headaches with those bombastic scents, and maybe something like that then for you would be better. But for me, like if they're on an extreme sale at the Body Shop, I might get them, but otherwise I don't think they are essential. I think Lush ones are better. Lush ones are also pricier though, so cons and pros in both cases. This is kind of what my gold standard is for bath taking. This is just Epsom salts. You can get any Epsom salts. Some are better quality than others, but really for soaking, it doesn't really matter so much. It's the main ingredient you're looking for in these kinds of salts is magnesium. That should be the first, one of the first, if not the first ingredient in the ingredient deck. And obviously here it is precisely that. I buy them from a local store. This is a 2 kilogram packet, and I just have a little container that I scoop some up, and then I add some essential oils and whatever I want, and then I put it in the bath. And that way I can really custom mix my own scents and the amount, the intensity of the scent as well into this kind of a medium. And I find that the easiest way to take baths if you like bath salts. Obviously, again, you're not going to get any sudsing or bubbles with that. You can have like bath creams or shower gels even, or some kind of bath liquids are good for that. Sometimes I use shower gels to create a bubble bath, and I do like that, but it's a little bit more drying depending on what product you use. The last sort of shower, bath, and body product is the Body Shop Honey Mania shower gel. This one I've used a couple of times as a bath bubble thing, bubble bath. I love the scent. This is probably my favorite scent from the Body Shop that they make. I like some of the others. I like the shea one, a nutty one. I enjoy this honey one. So there are a few that I think are really actually excellently created scents. I mean, this is just regular shower gel. I've been buying the shower gels from the Body Shop for a while because they're cheap, and I will probably continue buying them for that very reason, but I'm interested in trying out different kinds of body products. This is pretty good. Good shower gel, no complaints. It's really pretty basic. If you want something more moisturizing, I would suggest not going for this. This is a really basic shower gel. In terms of hand cream, I've used up a hand cream, and this is a Clarins hand and nail treatment cream. I'm not sure if they have others available in the brand. This is just fine. Sometimes I had to double layer it to get more intense moisturization. If you don't have dry skin, then I mean, I guess you can just use anything if you don't have dry skin. It's us dry skin people who really have to suffer and find something that is very effective. This was in my kitchen, so I used it anytime that I washed my hands or washed vegetables or fruit or washed dishes in the kitchen, because I do my dishes by hand. So this is a 100 ml tube, so it's a pretty big tube. It lasted me a while. I've used it up because I've gotten it in some kind of a gift basket at some point. I probably wouldn't have purchased it because I would have tried it in the store and not think it was anything special. But since I had it, I've used it and I've used it up. But it's nothing special. As I had said, I wouldn't waste your money on this. There are much better hand creams out there, and even in the drugstore. I really enjoy myself if you are looking for a good glycerin-based hand cream. Glycomed or Glycomed. It spells like this. This is what I get in my drugstore. That's my preferred hand cream because it's very fast absorbing and it does leave fairly soft hands behind. It's easy to use. It's never greasy. This was disappointing, and that Glycomed one from the drugstore that I get for like $3 a piece is far superior. So I suggest you check out something like that. Drugstore is really good for hand creams. You certainly don't need to go high-end for hand creams. If you do want to go high-end for hand creams though, L'Occitane make pretty good shea butter based hand creams that I personally really enjoy. Fresh makes good hand creams as well. I wouldn't go with Clarins, I think or Clarins, I think their formula is inferior. In terms of face wash, I actually have something I really like. This is Lowen's. They had sent this to me. Some of the products that they sent to me I wasn't really a fan of and had decluttered, and some of them I was really a fan of. So somehow with Lowen's, there's not really a group of products that is just okay. I either quite like them or quite dislike them enough to declutter. This particular one is Lowen's You Sure Clean Up Nice Face and Body Cleanser. I used it as my second cleanse, and this thing is awesome for dry skinned people as a cleanser. It has it's coconut based, so I guess if you have reactions to coconut, it's probably not for you. But it has coconut, hemp oil, safflower, glycerin, aloe vera, xanthan gum, some other ingredients. It's really it's a well formulated, clean EWG certified brand, by the way, which is important if you are into clean beauty or greener beauty, which I like. The fact that it doesn't have any drying or harmful ingredients or any really preservatives. It's self-preserving. And it was 35 grams here. I have another one that I'm using right now that is slightly exfoliating, that is the same size, and I'll be talking about it again, but I really quite like this, and I would spend my own money on it because it's not extortionately expensive compared to similar products within its like the clean beauty market, within its market bracket. So I think good job, Lowen's, excellent formulation. I was happy with your product, and this You Sure Clean Up Nice would be on my list of things I may repurchase in the future. Right now I just have too many cleansers to go through, but this is actually quite a good piece if you're into clean beauty. I was very glad to have it. And going into luxury beauty, I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, guys. It is how my collection actually looks like, or not collection, I should say. This is how my makeup and skincare actually looks like. I really gravitate towards a variety of brands. I'm not really particularly loyal to any. Darphin is one of the brands that I'm actually quite fond of, and I have been buying from for many years, and I will continue to buy from because they just have very elegant formulations. The textures are wonderful, spreadable, absorbable, good carrier molecules, well thought through ingredients, well thought through formulas. So this particular serum is the Mela Perfect anti-dark spots perfecting treatment, and I like using something like this in the summer. I do use a little bit of exfoliation, a little bit of maybe antioxidants, a little bit of spot care, or like dark spot treatment care. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There are a few pieces of my collection that remain very, very constant, and what I mean by that is I always have, for instance, some kind of an acid or some kind of a retinoid based treatment. This is antioxidants and lightening agents in this little tube. It smells nice, it absorbs very well, it spreads easily. It's just a beauty to use and like lovely, lovely formula to use. It is quite effective. It's not like the most bleaching dark spot eradicating treatment ever, but I like using it interspersed with other things, and I did feel like it left my skin extremely soft, and it actually worked on texture, not just the pigmentation, which was a nice perk. Like the next morning, I would use it at night, and the next morning I would wake up with quite a good skin day, meaning that the texture of my skin responded very well to this. So I was happy to use it. I bought another one. So this has been repurchased. Hello. Another high-end item in trial size that I tried out because I was traveling. So when I travel, I take minis with me. For example, this face wash in the mini size I also took with me while traveling. We went to Montreal in the month of July, so I did have to pack up a few things with me, and this was one of them. This is Tatra the water cream. If you're a fan of Tatra, I think Tatra has very nice products. I think they're awfully overpriced for what they're selling, but I think their products are nice. Their formulas are really good, lightweight, very elegantly formulated. None of them have a lot of ingredients or any ingredients in most cases that I would deem questionable. I really liked the cream. It was a nice face cream. However, if you watch me for any period of time, you understand and know that I am not much one for spending a ton of money on creams, and this guy is very pricey. I think creams, I mean, it depends on what you want from your cream, and it depends on what the rest of your skincare regime looks like. You might want to invest in active ingredients in a cream. For me, creams are a lot of the times just a sealant step, something to sort of pack in the rest of my skincare and seal it in and make it work for me throughout the night. So I'm not really fussy with my face creams. I just want the texture to be nice and for it to not be greasy or nasty and not to contain any crappy ingredients. And this one doesn't. This is lovely. The texture is wonderful. However, I cannot justify spending a full amount on a large jar of it because I just don't think face cream is where I want to put my money. I would much rather put my money into a serum, which is with a much smaller carrier molecule, so the penetration rate is going to be greater than something like a cream. But I mean, it entirely depends on what the rest of your routine looks like. Maybe you only do a cream, so maybe you want some active ingredients in it. Maybe then Tatra would be a good choice for you. For me, I just didn't think it was worth the buy, but if you have resources that are unlimited, then I definitely think it's a good product. So no complaints about the actual product. It's very fast absorbing, very lightweight. It's a gel cream kind of texture, and it's wonderful on skin. Does its job. It moisturizes very well. A little far out for me in terms of what the function of cream is for me, and what does a cream do in my particular skincare routine, because I always add actives in the form of essences and serums. So my skin is pretty packed with actives by the time I get to the cream. I don't really require a lot from it. Moving on, that was a long explanation. The last body care product that I wanted to mention is my body cream that I used up completely, and this is from Laura Geller, who I didn't even know did body care until I actually saw this online, and this intrigued me enough to purchase. First of all, the name of the product is Italian Body Souffle in the flavor lemon meringue. Now, First of all, of course, it is the beautiful vintage slash minimal packaging that they have. I mean, they have that beautiful paper print on top that looks really pretty and vintage. I love the way that they designed the actual container. I think it's very tasteful. It smells exactly like it says it smells. Lemony, lemon pie, lemon meringue. It's beautiful. It's really a tasty, foodie smell that doesn't linger too long, but is noticeable when you're applying. So you still get that sensation and sensory application. But then by the time you're applying your fragrance, it's not really interfering with that, which I like. This is my preferred way to apply body care, in terms of I like to have that aromatherapy-like experience during the application, and I want it to be gone, which is what happens here. It is a lightly moisturizing cream that is best either for oilier skin types or for the summer. And for me, that was really a summer cream that I really enjoyed using, and I think it's an excellent texture. Definitely, if I saw it again on sale, I would grab one or two of these jars. Easy peasy. This is an easy choice. If you have very dry skin though, you might want something a little bit more dense in terms of texture and moisturizing occlusive components. So makeup, we have a black eyeliner. This is Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips Custom Eye Enhancing Eyeliner. Comes in a trio. This trio is called Nude Eyes. This is a matte black, very saturated, very dark black gel cream eyeliner. It is automatic, but it does have a little sharpener on the back, and you can definitely keep your point very sharp. It can be so sharp and so clear and very dark, to the point where it can look almost like a liquid liner. If you want to, you can smudge it out, but you have to work very fast because it sets, and it sets fast, and then it doesn't move. It's pretty budge proof, long wearing for sure, not waterproof, and removes easily with makeup remover or cleanser. But it just basically is almost perfect. It's almost perfect. If I had maybe 10 more seconds of blending time, if it didn't set quite as fast as it sets, it would be like irreplaceable. But I've been buying this for years, and I've been buying this since my grad school days. I've been buying it for such a long time, maybe even early college, because I didn't start wearing makeup until grad school, really. I didn't wear much, if any. I don't think I wore any makeup in undergrad. So as early as I remember, once I found this pencil, I've been using it ever since, and I've tried so much drugstore and high-end, mostly high-end products since then, and still this holds my heart. I think it's a very good value for money, and the quality is really definitely there, and it's also long wearing, which is really important for most people, I would suppose, because we all want our makeup to stay intact and not to wear in a way that is terribly unflattering. So this thing really keeps working for me. It's a gift that keeps on giving in a good way, and I will continue purchasing these. I still have a few pencils to get through, including a few from this line. Excellent product, really happy with it. Then we have Laura Mercier Foundation Primer Radiance. This is a very radiant primer. It does not have SPF. I prefer if it did. It does leave a sheen. I used it mostly like a liquid highlighter. So I would apply it to the tips of my fingers and sort of tap it into my cheekbones. But honestly, I wasn't terribly impressed with the primer. It didn't do anything special per se. There are lots of illuminating primers out there, and this one is really no better than any other. It does have a little tack to it, so it does stick the makeup on, which I suppose is really nice, but I've tried better textures out there, and it stays a slight bit too greasy for my liking, and I have dry skin. But primers like Juice Beauty Illuminating Primer, for instance, they don't leave the same texture on the skin as this does, and this, in just a couple of hours, tends to look quite greasy, which isn't my preference. I want it to look luminous and glowy, but greasiness isn't really something that I aspire to look like. So this was okay, but I wouldn't recommend it. There are better things out there, guys. I wouldn't spend my money on that. Same can be said about this lipstick. And we're talking about these cream lipsticks from Tom Ford. Mine is in the color 18 Addison. I don't know what the fuss is about. I ended up using it as a very pretty, by the way, cheek product, so like a cream blush almost. And you can do that with your lipsticks, guys. Not every lipstick, maybe the very, very matte stuff you don't want to be putting on your cheeks because you just won't be able to blend it out really easily. Creamy things you can try on your cheeks, no big deal. Just do it, it's fine. If it's too greasy, then it might clog the pores, but for many people, lipsticks work just fine on the cheeks. It's a cream product, guys. If it's good enough for your lips and good enough to eat, it's fine for the skin most of the time. So it's an okay lipstick. Like, it's a nice cream formula, but honestly, paying 50 bucks for this mini, like, what the hell? No, I don't think it's worth it. I don't even think, and people go crazy for the packaging, and I don't think the packaging is extremely exceptional or even special in many ways. Yeah, it's a good design. I like the sort of Art Deco vibe of it all. It's pretty. I like the shape of it and the colors. But the thing is, it's a bulky tube. If you don't mind it, that's fine. And they didn't even include, this is a snap tube. They didn't even include a magnetic closure, which bothers me. I'm annoyed by that. 50 buck lipstick should include a magnetic closure. What's going on? The formula was good, but there's so many good formulas out there and they don't have to cost 50 bucks for a mini. So I was just like, I wanted to know what the fuss is about and I could not figure it out. Let me know, did you feel like these lipsticks were like end all be all? Because I've tried many lipstick lines that are high end and they're just as good, if not better, than these Tom Ford guys. For instance, By Beauty has a fantastic texture with lots of pigmentation and any kind of finish that you want. And honestly, I like it much better than what they offer here at Tom Ford. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not worth 50 bucks. What was that about? I don't know. A Chanel nail polish again. Like this, are we tracing a theme here this month? This is Le Vernis in 167 Ballerina. They still sell this color. This was a pretty sheer-like color. Again, what is the fuss all about? Like, Chanel polishes aren't all that special. There are plenty of polishes that are really great out there. OPI, China Glaze, and SC, as well as, obviously, my favorite is Zoya. Those guys make fantastic polishes for a fraction of the price and a much better color range. So I wouldn't recommend any of these very high-end nail polishes. Of course, if you find something that you're absolutely in love with, go for it. But for a sheer like color, I feel like options are endless. In for instance, SE line is full of these kinds of colors and they cost $8, not whatever that was, like 35. I am kind of baffled how they can charge so much for something like this. The quality was not exceptional. It was just a normal, really normal sheer or semi-sheer nail polish. Nothing special, literally. The formula was nothing special, I swear. Then we have 3 perfumes. This is the last of it, the last of the Empties. Let's talk about the 2 Atelier Colognes first. So we have Orange Sanguine, the bigger tube. I have the 30 milliliter in the same scent. It's right here. So this is not my last bit of it, but it's a nice blood orange with a little bit of sweetness. And it is quite a calm yet pretty yet unisex scent. You can definitely share that with your boyfriend. And that used to be my favorite from the line, and now my favorite is this. I think next time when I'm refilling the refillable 30 ml, this is, by the way, refillable. So when I'm refilling the refillable 30 ml bottle, I will refill it with this guy. And this is Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California. I just tried it this month. This mini has been laying around, and I was like, well, Clementine, whatever. I have my Orange Sanguine. I'm sure that's my favorite. And it no longer is. It's been dethroned. Clementine, California, there's something a little bit more unisex about it. If Orange Sanguine leans a touch feminine, this one doesn't lean anywhere, actually. It doesn't just cut straight through into the middle. It's very, very unisex. It's beautiful. It wears very well. It's a little bit bitter, a little bit fresh. It's very zesty, I would say. And yes, it does smell like sunny clementines, juicy ones. And I think I will be repurchasing this instead of the Orange Sanguine going forward, which was a big discovery for me because really orange sanguine was one of my favorite citruses for the summer for a long period of time. So it's a bit of a change. The last product is extremely disappointing, and this is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Rose. This was supposed to be in my perfume rotation. I'll leave the link below for that, as well as for my Project Pan, from which some of these products come from, like these makeup products are from my Project Pan. And the playlist I'll leave down below if you're curious. This was in my perfume rotation as my sort of the scent that I would try to wear for nighttime or evening events. I have had Nirvana White, and I thought that was fine, but very boring. I have Nirvana Black right now, and I think that's the scent I like the best out of all of the Elizabeth and James Nirvana scents that I've tried. And I was excited for the rose. I love roses. I love rose scents. The rose perfumes are definitely on my list of things to try more of, and I have tried a ton of different rose perfumes. And then I came across this, and what I can say is WTF, what were they thinking with this thing? It's not bad in terms of longevity, but it is just a snooze fest. There is some rosiness to it, and it's not entirely non-authentic, and it's not entirely disgusting. None of this is gross. This is just yawn. What? Like, what? How generic of them to create this. There's a little bit of Nirvana Black sort of floating in the background. I smell it, but Nirvana Black by itself is interesting and a little bit sultry, and it winks at you a little bit. I'll leave the Nirvana White and Nirvana Black perfume reviews down below. I don't think it even warrants a review. I was excited to review this, and I think I'm not going to. Basically very generic, slightly patchouli based rose scent. The rose here is not really all that authentic. It's very abstract. It's not interesting in any kind of way. Abstract flowers I am all for, but this is nondescript. Let's say nondescript, not abstract, but nondescript. Abstract would mean that there's something different about it. This is just, oh, so blah. I wouldn't bother with it, guys, especially if you are a lover of rose scents. I feel like it is not unlikely that you would be very disappointed with it. I still have the bourbon to try from the same line. I haven't worn it yet, but both the white and the rose had been duds for me from their lineup. The black is pretty great. The white and the rose both are just bored. So bored. Anyway, so now that I've kind of crapped all over some of these products, they were good enough to wear. Like, I finished it up, this rose thing, but it was just, I was bored the entire time I was wearing it. So the things that I would repurchase from all of this, obviously the salts, because I have. The shower gel from the Body Shop, because I've repurchased it before. I would buy the Lowen's face wash, which is a first for me. I haven't never bought that before. And then the Darfong, and this stands for a lot of different Darfong serums that I've tried, but Malaperfect, I haven't only, I'm not just intending to repurchase it, I already have another jar of it, so it's pretty good. If this goes on sale, the Laura Geller Italian Body Souffle, if that goes on sale, I would repurchase that. And I would repurchase, and I have many times over, and I still have some to get through right now, those Shimmer Strips Custom Enhancing Eyeliners from Physicians Formula. Those are definitely a go. We're doing actually pretty well. And the last thing, of course, is the Clementine California perfume. That would replace my Orange Sanguine in a heartbeat nowadays. The rest of it, I wouldn't bother with, basically. That's it for today. I hope it was fun for you to watch what I finished up this month of July, and what sort of things I recommend and what sort of things I think are just fine. Let me know down below what your favorite products of this month were, and if you finished anything up, what that was. That's it for today. Have a wonderful day. See you guys later, and good luck to you. Bye-bye.